here is evidence that the topology of the world is not the topology that we ordinarily see. That is, we see things as separated by a certain distance. We walk across a room, we think we've left the far wall behind us and so forth. But there's an attempt to say, well, maybe things that from our macroscopic point of view appear to be widely separated in space, from a microscopic point of view, might actually be contiguous and touching one another. Peace. The calling for our destiny. Peace. The calling for our destiny. Heaven calling for our destiny. What we have here is evidence that the topology of the world is not the topology that we ordinarily see. That is, we see things as separated by a certain distance. We walk across the room, we think, well, we've left the far wall behind us and so forth. But there's an attempt to say, well, maybe things that from our macroscopic point of view appear to be widely separated in space, from a microscopic point of view, might actually be touching one another. Peace. Heaven calling for our destiny. Hear them calling for our destiny. Hear them calling for our destiny.
Hello. Happy Mother's Day to all mothers and to, first of all, our collective mother, Pachamama, Gaia. Happy birthday. So we're having major solar activations right now, plasma waves coming through the galactic center. And I'm so happy to be here to experience this time that feels like I've been talking about forever, feeling in all of my being. And yet one part of me just didn't have the capacity to really understand what was going on, because it was being revealed little by little, layer by layer. The ascension, the prophecies, the sixth sun, the Hopi prophecy, the genetic code that is changing within us, the DNA. And I've been studying this and pursuing this information for quite a long time. And I just was so inspired by my broSTAR, David Wilcock, that I've mentioned many, many times here over the past 4 or 5 years, since I started my YouTube channel, to inform people about these times and the power that we have within us to activate our God essence, through more light, lightness of being, and honoring the process, whatever that is for you. So that's why I love to share my embodied wisdom, which is the body and the experience that I've been going through. That's all I can really share, because, and then resonate with others that are on this path as well, interested in this, and wanting to inform and empower people about their divine sovereignty. And you see, I've had a lot of glitches and setbacks, we'll put it that way, for a very long time. And some of it could be due to my own karma, that things that I've done or um, haven't been able to process fully. And others, I believe, are actual, dark forces that know who we are, that know everything through the looking glass technologies, and so many technologies that are way ahead of what most people perceive or understand in this reality. And this is going to be the time where so much is being revealed about these technologies, about these beings that are behind a lot of the manipulation and the agenda for waking people up and for profiting off of fear and all of that, the pandemic that we just went through, people meeting in Davos for, you know, manipulating the economy to suit their own agendas and purposes. And of course, so many people over such a long time have been taken out for speaking against these things, or for wanting true peace and love, such as John Lennon and others that were JFK, and that's all coming out. And for some reason, I always knew this. I even told my mother, and I wrote about it when I was in journalism school. And again, it's not like anybody at that time was, I don't know, they just didn't get it. And somehow I knew that these things were happening. I always knew. So it's been a journey, right? For those of us that have had these downloads and synchronicities and messages and wanting to be the messenger, and having people that don't like that. They don't like what you're saying. They don't like what you're representing. They don't like because you're showing, you're reflecting a lot of light and lightness of being, and light is also intel, information. And it has nothing to do with ego. It really is like this burning kind of, I have to speak, I have to share this information, right? And I don't even understand a lot of it. So it's not comfortable. And I was born very shy, very reserved, very in my own imaginative world, creating, worlds within worlds, like little people in nature. And even my drawers in my house were all made for like little people. And I was always like creating worlds and creating artwork and, landscapes, and, just always creating artistically. And some people would say autistically, but I think that the whole word autism is a whole thing in itself that needs to be looked at from another perspective. But people who are extremely gifted and have another way of understanding reality, have a lot of imagination, see fairies and nature, winking and speaking to them and all of that. Um, it's just that you're able to see between the realms, between the dimensions, and, explaining that to rational Western-minded people that have no religion and no, which means union with the divine or God, not the, programmed religion, but the natural spiritual connection. It's more spiritual than religious. But anyhow, I'm just rambling on, but I feel like it's important for me to finally speak about these experiences that I've had my whole life and the rise of the divine feminine, because when I was 13 years old, on Friday 13, I was hit by a truck that kind of appeared out of nowhere. And it was a whole very extreme situation where I left my body and I saw my body on the ground and all that. And I was in a coma, very, very, I mean, broken pieces, 14 pieces, my legs, and extremely dramatic. And of course, I lost my life, but I was brought back and I was assisted by these angelic light beings that brought me back. And I've seen these beings throughout my life. So I call them my star family. So that's how I connect with being a star seed and all that. And the whole idea that we will go back. So some people might call it heaven, which is a higher realm. Heaven to me is a state of being that we can be in anytime, even on this realm, in this realm, on Gaia. However, there definitely is a higher, much higher frequency love and telepathic and creator place that exists, and I know I'll be going back there. So what's happening with this time is the realization of us ascending, which means we're going into higher and higher frequencies or realms or dimensions, and the veils are getting thinner and thinner, and we're able to know that we are eternal beings, that we are souls having a human experience here in a type of school or a type of, it could be an experiment. What was fascinating and what is fascinating about David Wilcock is all of the downloads he's been getting, the synchronicity key, awaken the dream, you know. And today on Mother's Day, I'm with my daughter Stella Sophia, which is Star Wisdom, which has a whole story connected to that as well. Why she's part of my star family and here to assist and be with me in these times so that we will continue the journey of building new earth together. And however that's going to be guided, because at this stage I don't really know what my next assignment is. I do know that I just passed a really big one, which is never to sacrifice myself, my mission, or my energy to anyone that is there to just take, okay? Like never again. I need to be loved and cherished and adored just the way that I cherish, love, and adore others. So that is very clear for me now. I will not entertain or ever feel like I'm not enough or that I'm not worthy of beautiful love and, you know, and yeah, so that's something that I had to transcend. And it was intergenerational trauma, and it is linked with the feminine masculine connection and the twin flame journey of uniting your own masculine feminine energies within yourself to be able to be so strong in the visualizing, the heart-based coherence, and then the transmission or the action-oriented acts. But there's moments where I'm not doing very much. I need to rest and relax and meditate and chant and stretch and go for walks in nature. And that's why I've been blessed to have this lifestyle and to continue it, because I'm here in service. And anytime I do need something, I ask and I receive. It really is the way it works. But the thing is, I do believe you have to be aligned with the mission that you came to embody. And so that's kind of what's coming through. Now, what was fascinating with David Wilcock was the whole essays that he wrote, you know, back in 1998, or like thinking like, wow, how 27 years ago, but when we think that our whole lives are like this, just being revealed to us as we remember more and more about why we came, why we're here, and I think a lot of us question that because it's like we know we're not here to just reproduce and buy a house and get married and have, I mean, that was 20 years of my life. But even through that, I knew that I'm here for something else. Like I've contributed, and of course, Stella came in, and that's when I realized that that part of my life had to be over, that I was going to raise her in another way. And it's a challenge because we have a whole system set up, a whole society, a whole thing, and the old earth is crumbling. And even though people know it doesn't make sense to go to war, and they can't really imagine anything outside of what they've known. So when I came here, I can imagine really higher realms and higher realities and other beings that look completely different. And I know I've listened to Alice and Co. People who do tap into past lives and future lives and all this stuff. Um, it's all possible. It's all coexisting at the same time. In the quantum realm, there's no time, there's no space. It's all there. It's kind of like the cloud, and the movie is all there, the movies, whatever, and you can choose and download which one you're going to be participating in and what your hero's journey is going to be about. And are you aligned with it or are you off track? And of course, throughout the journey, we get that, and you can like fall on your face and have situations happen where they force you to stop and refocus and that's been my whole life basically. And it's been brutal, trust me. I mean, it's been pretty brutal. But I'm still happy and I'm still enjoying. And actually, I've decided, and now that I understand more and more about reality creation and frequency and the law of assumption, Neville Goddard, and all of that, although I don't agree 100% with some of stuff about it, I do believe everyone has their own free will as a soul, and you cannot manipulate someone to be part of your reality if that's not what their purpose is. And I would not recommend that. There are coaches and teachers out there saying you can have anyone or all of that. And I don't believe that. I believe you have to. Florence Scovel Shinn, the Game of Life and How to Play It, is an amazing book that I highly recommend. And she talks about him or her or someone better. So someone that is aligned with you and your mission, and not that, because that's very dangerous to pull yourself back from yourself and your soul journey to be aligning with somebody else's, and that can really throw you off track. And I know that that's happened to me, and that's why I came to learn and transmute and then transfer the information, be the messenger, as a priestess, as a sovereign queen, because when you're in the kingdom, you live as a queen and a king as you're meant to. You don't poo-poo that and say, oh, who do you think you are? You say, no, I am a God sovereign being, a God sovereign soul, and I'm a goddess, and I will claim it, and I will be it, and I will live in that. And it is a blessing. And because you can't be a blessing to others if you're not, first of all, a blessing to yourself. And you have to be in full alignment with that. And so we are one. The law of one is something that I totally resonate with. And the dark and the light have been coexisting to show us what we don't want and to align more with what we do. So we're constantly doing that until we are literally not swimming around in the murky waters of the shadow realms anymore. We understand them for what they are. We see them. And we send love and blessings to all, because everything is playing its role in all of this unfolding. And there are higher laws, karmic laws happening so that each soul will get the karma back. So if you lie, you cheat, you steal, you manipulate, you all these things like that, it's all going to be coming back to you in one form or another. So, I mean, that helps us to align with being our highest version and the best version of ourselves, and to be in the heart and to send that loving energy. So that's my message for today. Thanks for enjoying with me this little moment of peace, serenity, harmony, so that we can all shine our light and be in this field of loving consciousness together. Namaste, brothers and sisters. Take care. Bye.